I've been wanting to check out Asaf Avidan's Your Anchor from In a Box 2, so let's get started. Whoa. Ooh.
She said, baby, you're my gold. I said, no, baby, I'm your banker. She said, baby, you're my chains. I said, no, honey, I'm your anchor. And I said, baby, you're my wings. She said, no, you're just a fish. I said, baby, you're my dream. She said, no, I'm just your wish. She said, baby, you're my river. I said, no, baby, I'm your train.
I didn't want to stop this, but there are just a few things really quick I just wanted to mention that you probably already know or have picked out for the mere fact I love his voice. And this is the second song I've heard by Asaf, and I don't recall the first one, him doing the grittiness in his voice, and I actually really like that. He goes a little bit deeper, and then it's gritty, and then he goes up back to his higher pitched tone, and it is just clean and seamless and so smooth. He's got an incredible voice. Musically, we already know that he's absolutely incredible, utilizing as many instruments as he can and creating loops for these. And that is not an easy task to do. I've talked about this in the other video, so I won't spend a lot of time there. It's just impressive to see this all essentially being done live as he's creating these loops and doing the recording. It's just gorgeous. The acoustic guitar in this is the notes that he's chosen really resonate with me, and I just love this entire tune. So those are just what I wanted to pick out really quick. It looks like he could be using a version of a U47 microphone, but I could be wrong. Well, I might check that out later.
She said, baby, you're my color. I said, no, baby, I'm your stain. And I said, baby, you're my diamond. She said, no, I'm just a pig.
Oh, nice.
I said, baby, it must be magic. She said, no, I'm just a trick.
Before he starts, real quick, I didn't want to interrupt the solo. I am, at the end of this, going to go back through and pull up the lyrics because I'm very curious. I did not do that on the first one, and I really just enjoyed the line that he said, baby, you're magic, and she said, no, I'm just a trick. That is extremely a creative line. So I will, at the end, actually pull up the lyrics and look over those.
She said, baby, you can see me. I said, no, baby, I just sense. She said, baby, you're my castle. I said, no, honey, I'm your fence. And I said, baby, you're my lover. She said, no, I'm just a maid. I said, baby, I love you. She said, no, you're just afraid. I said, no, baby, I love you. She said, no, you're just afraid, boy. I said, no, baby, So baby, listen now. So now, baby, listen, I love you. So baby, I love you.
Holy cow.
So baby, I love you. She said, no, you're just afraid.
Ooh, a slide. Yeah, I didn't want to stop in this. I'll actually go back to where he starts the slide. I mentioned before, I really love the notes that he's chosen on this acoustic. They're just so clean and clear. It is so methodical, at least to me, because it sounds so well thought out for this entire tone of the song. And then I'm not a huge fan, but they're not used that often, but I've never, probably because I relate it to songs that I don't like, but as far as slides are concerned, in the right cases, they sound phenomenal. And this was an absolutely perfect fit for this. So I just wanted to mention that. I love that. It sounds almost like it's a chant in some epic film, or maybe even an epic scene of like Game of Thrones or something. But I dig that. Well, I wasn't expecting that, but it goes so well with this. What a way to end that. Just a single... Wow. Okay. So I knew he played piano, because that was the first song, and now I can't, it eludes me. But I don't think I knew that he played guitar. If I did, I didn't realize it was that well. Not only that, it is that creative. Depending on the guitar, the pickup's really only meant for the strings, right? So, and I bring this up because he is then screaming into the body of the acoustic, right? So the built-in pickups for this would not pick that up. The reason I mention this is because it's an extremely creative way to utilize the hollow body of the acoustic for him to scream into or yell into, and his vocal mic to be able to pick that up. Because you wouldn't want to do it out, I mean, this is wide open, right? And it's all hard surfaces. So if he were to do that, it wouldn't have captured it really uniquely. And then being able to utilize the effect on the voice just makes it so much more incredible of speeding it up, turning it down, adding a wave, and I can't think of the effect that would have been used for that to give us that wah 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 wah. Not being a wah wah pedal, but it's wah wah. There, it's a pitch variation shift change, as well as even a tempo change, and he's got a multitude of pedals. I don't know if all of them are in use for this particular song, but we obviously get some delay, we get some reverb, and some great echo. This is just so extremely creative way to utilize the guitar. The other thing I wanted to mention real quick before I go and pull up the lyrics is that the way that he uses the slide outside or over the body of the guitar, the opening of the body, and not on a fret, right? Because if you're to use your finger, you actually cannot you can put your finger there, but when you pluck it, it's just going to be like a dink. It's not going to be a sound at all. Him being creative to utilize the slide over that opening to give us a much higher pitch in the resonance is so impressive. That's so absolutely creative. So let me go pull up the lyrics real quick. I'll be right back. Okay, I've put up the lyrics. I haven't read them yet, so I'm just going to go through them real quick. Hopefully not real quick, but we'll see. And they're not on the screen. I just have them in my browser. So they are below this video in the description. The lyrics are, "She said, baby, you're my gold. I said, no, babe, I'm your banker. She said, baby, you're my chains. I said, no, hon, I'm your anchor. I said, baby, you're my wings. She said, no, babe, you're a fish. I said, baby, you're my dream. She said, no, I'm just your wish." I absolutely love these lyrics. I've said this before. I'm extremely passionate about creative artists, and Asaf is extremely creative. And then you tack on matching vocals to the music as well as incredible thought-provoking lyrics, and that is exactly what this is. I mean, baby, I'm your gold. No, or you're my gold. And it's humbling, right? Because she said, baby, you're my gold. I said, no, babe, I'm your banker. So it sounds to me being humble. She said, baby, you're my chains. And I said, no, I'm your anchor. So I'm not restricting you. I'm not holding you down. I am your anchor of solidity. I can be counted on. And again, and now it says, I said, baby, you're my wings. So now we've switched from she said gold, she said chains. Now I'm saying wings, and she's saying fish. And again, I'm saying, you're my dream. And she's saying, no, I'm your wish. I love the flip in the character who's speaking. And I love just the juxtaposition between the two statements is creative. Okay, so the next one is, she said, baby, you're my river. I said, no, hon, I'm your drain. Oh, I love that. She said, baby, you're my color. I said, no, babe, I'm your stain. I said, baby, you're my diamond. She said, no, babe, just the pick. Oh my God. I said, baby, you're my magic. She said, no, hun, just a trick. So I love this. A river, in my opinion, just again, reading this for the first time makes me think about a river being swept away and almost uncontrollable. Whereas he's saying, no, I'm your drain. I can get you to safety. I can relieve you from this uncertainty and chaos. She then says, you're my color. And he says, no, babe, I'm your stain. So a stain could be something that is permanent, consistent. You know that it's always there if it's a stain that never goes away. So I like that. Even though it sounds like there could be negative context, I take it as something being positive because colors can change. They can fade. Stains, they're persistent. And that is so absolutely creative to utilize the word stain as an opposition to color. I know it's to rhyme with drain, but it is a great, great use. And then I'm saying that I'm your diamond. And she's, no, I'm just the pick. I'm the pick that's helping you uncover all of these diamonds. Again, just being humble. And then I said, baby, you're magic. And this was the one I heard. And she says, no, I'm just a trick. The next part, last part, she said, baby, you can see me. I said, baby, I just sense. She said, baby, you're my castle. I said, no, I'm just your fence. I said, baby, you're my lover. She said, no, hun, just the maid. I said, baby, I love you. She said, no, babe, you're just afraid. So, she, and then I, and then she. So we don't get the full she, I, and we also, she, I. Okay, no, I take that back. So she said, you can see me. She said, you're my castle. I said, you're my lover. And I said, baby, I love you. It does get a little, the last part, I'll get to that in a second. But I like the fact that she says, baby, you can see me. I'm not an apparition. But he's like, no, baby, I just sense. So meaning, can you just see me? Do you just see me? Are you just recognizing these physical external attributes? And just saying no, he's stating, I can sense all of you. So it's not I can just see you. I sense you. I sense everything about you. I could have my eyes closed and know you were in a room. I could have my ears plugged and smell you. There are so many things that go along with just being able to sense a person. And it is such a beautiful way to portray that. So she says, baby, you're my castle. He says, no, I'm just your fence. Just your fence. He is stating that he's the guardian of this incredible human being. And he says, baby, I'm your lover. She says, no, I'm just the maid. It's like, no, you mean more to me. So I'm going to say, baby, I love you. And she says, no, babe, you're just afraid. Now, all of this is so deep and confounding in these words and statements and the variation between the two. But it really pulls me at the end when he's just being so profound and voicing, you're not just the maid. I love you. And she says, no, babe, you're just afraid. I don't, it sounds so negative, but I don't, from the music and the lyrics, although the music towards the end, after this is stated, and it's repeated a couple of times, it is a little chaotic from the music perspective. It's not chaotic. It's extremely creative. It's carrying us on a different journey. And I would think, I don't know, maybe that was the purpose. Maybe that was the purpose, to have this profound statements in this dialogue, and yet them coming back, or her coming back and stating, you don't really love me, you're just afraid. So then it opens up a whole nother can of worms. Like, what are you indicating that he is afraid of? Is he afraid of she no longer being there? That this not being real? That love in this context is scary. So maybe it's not really love that you're feeling. It's just that you're afraid of losing all of this. Maybe that is it, right? We're always afraid we're going to lose the things we love. And I don't know. Well, let me know your thoughts. I'm curious to see how this is interpreted, because to me, like I said, it could be them just saying, well, yes, you might love me. And this might be a profound confession that he's making. And this person's just like, I mean, no. Because it's some of this context, I don't know. I need to go back to this and spend a little bit more time, but I'm dying to know what your thoughts are on the lyrics, especially with the ending. And what are some things that I missed? Or what are some of the things that you understood that I mistook? Or how you may have understood some of these lyrics in a different direction. I don't want to keep going because it's already a 23-minute long video. But this was absolutely incredible. I'm so very excited to be listening to more of Asaf. So stay tuned. More is to come. Thank you so much for watching Melodic Logic. And until next time, please take care.